Okay, welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about using MyMathLab and some of the features that can be found there. So we're going to start here on the registration page. Then also you can sign in here as well. So you just click on sign in, you type in your username and password, and we will continue after that. So I'll go to the next page as soon as you get your username and passwords logged. Okay, so after you've gotten logged in, you should get to a place that looks similar to this, that has the name of the course up here, and then hopefully it'll have a list of courses. So my courses, here's all the list of my courses that I have. You will have just, well, it says I'm expired. So we put in the username and password again and try again. Okay, so now we're back on the second try. We can go to course home here on the left hand side. It should give us a view of what you're doing each week up here. So it lists all the homework that's available for you to do. Every assignment's listed here. That's going to happen for the whole term. And then also in each box is going to be little clocks that'll say what's due when. So Wednesday you have to turn in these two sections. Saturday you have to turn in these sections by then. We can also get a list of your homework by clicking on the homework tab, and that'll give us the homework and when it's due over here on the left hand side, and what your score is and how many times you've attempted it. So that will be listed here. All homework's listed here. So let's say we were doing a homework assignment. I want to go over some of the features of MyMathLab. Let's say we were working on homework. Let's say we were doing section 1.4 and we're on question 10, let's say. So it'll give you a list of questions here. It'll tell you if you're finished with it, how much you've done. So let's just see, we were on question 10 here. It's going to give us an question. It says find the equation of a line that's perpendicular to the line y equals 1/8 x plus 6 that contains the point -3, 0. You're going to type your answer in slope-intercept form. So if you're not sure what to do, there's some help over here that you can use to help you out, as well as there's some textbook help as well. So you can have them help to solve the problem. You can view an example. You can go to the textbook. You can send me a note, and then I can answer the question as well, or help you answer the question as well. So let's just look at a couple of these. So help me solve this is what it tells you, some information that perpendicular lines are if the product of the slopes is -1. So it's going to tell you, okay, since this is the 1/8 times whatever slope has to be -1, because 1/8 is the slope of this line. So they go and solve that. They're going to ask you to solve that and figure out what m is. And then once you have that answer, it's going to be that part. It's helping you solve that part to give you the slope. Once you enter the answer, then it's going to give you a, let's see, it's -8 is the answer. So you can check your answer. You can also enter the answer as a fraction, as a mixed number, if it needs an exponent, you can put it in there, absolute value, square roots, any kind of roots you want, subscripts or ordered pairs. There's also more things that you can put in there as well if you need some more things to type in your answer. In this case, I could type in a -8 pretty easily. So I would check my answer. It would say fantastic and allow me to continue on with this. And you can continue working this problem out as you help you solve that. Alright, so that's how help you solve that works. If you go to a view an example, it's going to do a problem similar to the one you have, but it's just going to take you through it and it's going to work it out for you. So everything they show you here is you're not solving it, but you're just looking at another example just like the one that's given. And there, the steps should be very similar to what you're doing there. So that's what help or view an example is. If there's any video, you can also do that. If you want to go to the textbook itself, you can then go to the textbook and it should take you to a section in the book. And this can take a while to load. Not too bad. All right, so you're in the section here, and you're in section 1.4, so you're going to have to find it in section 1.4, but it goes over the information, and it starts you in that section, and then if it says here, you might find it in the objectives here, and find an equation of perpendicular lines is the last objective, so you want to go to page 38 to do that, and then that will give you an example as well. So we can move on to page 38, and when we get there, it should give you an example of how to find a line perpendicular that's parallel. Here's a perpendicular one. It starts right there. It starts on page 38 and continues on page 39, and it goes over how to do that and gives you an example. So yeah, this is from the book. So you can also look at the textbook as part of your help. Or as I said, you can send me a question about it. If you have something in the book's not clear, or this part of the help is not clear, you can send me a question and I can try to answer the question in an email to you. Okay, so that's how I'd expect you to do your homework. I'm going to leave this area. I haven't finished question 10 because it has an X by it. The other part of this MyMathLab is the grade book. You'll be able to see your grades there. You can also see that under your home course. It should tell you overall how you're doing, your overall scores here, and how you submit. You should also check your browser, because sometimes your browser is not up to date and it doesn't run very well if you're not running the right browser and the right version of the browser. Because of the program, it does have pop-ups and windows and other things. It has to be turned off and on. So check that out. If you're getting something weird and that's not working out for you, I would just make a browser check of this to make sure it works for you and your browser that you're using on your computer. The other things here is some course tools. You also can look at the textbook and solutions manual, so you can look at the textbook chapter 1, each section from the textbook. You can look at the videos from that section. If there's videos from that section, you can go to the textbook, which is where we were on the problem. It just launches it from that point. The same launch is happening here. It's taking you to the textbook, and you have the book open up. You can then go to any page you want. You can click on the chapters you're looking at, or you can make it bigger or smaller if you need to be able to see it in a bigger or smaller window. Okay. All right. So that's using MyMathLab. All right, MyMathLab is, I'm expecting you to do your homework on that one. So the main purpose of this is to do the homeworks listed here. That's how that part of the grade is computed. Then I take and transfer that over and put it onto Moodle after I've scored it from here, or after it's been scored from here. I'll just transfer it over to Moodle and keep that on that grade section. So if you have any questions, send me an email about how to get on and use MyMathLab.